Alright, so this video shows the hangers I make that lift the back of a Ranger. Here's the factory Ranger hanger. What I did was basically kept these in the same spot on the frame, and the mount that the shackle bolts into, I've dropped that 2 3/8 of an inch. So by itself that gives about 1 1/4-ish amount of lift. The reason why I did that is I also made one for the front that also does 2 3/8 of an inch. So when used together, you get 2 3/8 of an inch of lift. The factory block is 2 3/8 of an inch. So this is going to allow me to remove the block, keep the same height, and hopefully combat some of my axle wrap problems I have. So let's get started. I'll show you how it goes together, and then I have another video on the front hanger, and then there'll be another video on the install of both of them. So let's get started. So this is both sides right here. Is you need 2 kits, one on each side. So I'll assemble one right now, and then do the other one off camera, attack it, show you how it goes together. Put this one off to the side. One thing you need is a 9/16 bolt. This is a spacer. It's 3 inches and 1/32 of an inch, just a little wider than the bushings that are on the shackle, so that it makes it a little bit easier to get it installed, so you're not fighting it. It's pretty important that you put this in from the outside. When this piece goes on, as you'll see, you need to go from here. If you don't, then once it's assembled, you won't be able to get this bolt back out to install it. So, and sometimes on these pieces, they theoretically are all mirrored images, so they can go either direction. Sometimes with the kerf width, they can go together a little bit easier one way or another, the other way. So sometimes you got to flip them to get them all to bolt in, to make them fit a little bit better. So that goes in like so, and then these pieces come on, and then you just kind of fit them in so that they tab in, and then the other side goes here. Once you get it all squared up, bolts in, drops in, and these mounts on the back are for these to go into. Pops in like so, and then this piece will fit on like so. Now, to kind of help hold it while I tack it, I'll just put a couple quick clamps, put a clamp on here. Double check everything, make sure it all looks good and lined up. It does. So now I'll just put a couple quick tacks on it and go from there. Alright, so now you'll be able to see basically how it goes. What you can tell is when you line those up, those 2 holes, what ends up happening is you drop that bolt hole, that mount, just a little bit, so that you can get that much more lift out of it. So my truck's pretty tall. I'm guessing I have around 9 inches of lift in the truck, so this will help me because I'm running the 6-inch Skyjacker rear leaves plus shackle I made that's 64 inches, that's the same as the Beltec 6400 shackle in length. So that plus these, then I'm running the block still as well. So this will allow me to get rid of the block. Basically what you do is make sure you weld all the back, weld up here, then each one of these all gets welded throughout. The one area you have to be careful about welding is right in here, because you got to make sure you keep it clear around those bolt holes so that you can get those bolts in, because they go back in the factory spots. So that's how some of this welds go in here too. That's how this goes together. I'll get it all tacked up off camera, get the other one welded up as well, and then the next video will be installing all this. So look forward to that one. Thanks. So one quick thing I realized I forgot to mention earlier is once you get it, it needs to be welded inside of here, down inside of these as well, to help strengthen it up. And then the pieces on the back have to be ground because it's going to mount against the frame. So just want to make sure that was in there. Thanks.